Hello everybody, McFluffy Stuff here, and today I'd like to bring to you one of our spiciest arena brews that we've had in a while. It's been a while since we've actually had a new deck. I'm going to start off by saying 1. This deck has only been played in best of 1, so no 2 out of 3. I do have a sideboard for it though. The format is still young. We're less than 24 hours after the release at the time of making this video of War of the Spark. So I'm sure the format's going to ebb and flow a lot. I wouldn't hold my breath that this becomes necessarily the best deck in the format, but I do feel this brew that we have has a lot of legs. The deck I am talking about is Izzet Burn, or as I like to call it, the Winsplosion combo. So there is an infinite combo in here. I'll go through that, explain how it works. So we're going to look at the main first. We're going to look at the side. I'm going to discuss some of the changes that I would make to the main or the side, or cards that we thought about playing. But first we're going to explain how this combo works. So the way it works is once you get your Ral Storm Conduit in play, whose effect reads, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Ral Storm Conduit deals 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. So first you need to Ral out. I know there's a ton of hate for planeswalkers right now. I still like this card a lot. The +2 to scry 1 I think is fair. It's not great, but I like it. The -2 allows you to copy your next instant or sorcery spell cast this turn is huge. So the way the combo works is with a Ral out, you have any other spell that you can legally cast, so be it an opt or a double cast, your lightning strike, and you need 2 expansions. So you cast, we'll just say your opt. Opt will go off, Ral's ability will go off. With those abilities on the stack, you're going to cast an expansion, copying your opt. Again, Ral's ability will go on the stack. You choose where you want to put that point of damage. With that expansion on the stack, you cast another expansion. So now what will happen is your second expansion can infinitely make copies of your first expansion, and because your expansion has not resolved yet, it'll make infinite copies of expansion to copy your expansion. Every time an expansion goes on the stack, Ral will ping for 1 point of damage. So you have infinite damage. I haven't had it yet where the timer has come up. I know the last game I played against Burn, they were at 20 life. They made me go through the entire motion. A timer never came up, so I don't know if maybe I click fast, or if once your combo gets going it kind of gives you some time. So that's how the combo works. Now we're going to talk about the deck, what we have, and why we made the choices we did. So we have 4 Opt, 4 Shock, 4 Augur of Bolas, 2 Negate, 2 Search for Azcanta, 1 Double Cast, 4 Lightning Strike, 1 Skewer the Critics, 3 Ionize, 3 Chemist's Insight, 3 Ral Storm Conduit, 2 Ral's Outburst, 4 Expansion Winsplosion, and we have 8 Island, 7 Mountain, and 2 of each of the duels. Now looking at the main deck here, it kind of plays game 1 like a weird burn deck that has combo. You got your shocks, you got your lightning strikes, your ionize help deal damage, you got your 1 of Skewer the Critics, and you got your explosions for in the grind game. Yes, this deck isn't loaded up on land, so very rarely will you be like explosion for 9, but that's okay. Other things to remember. You can use Ral's -2 to copy, let's say, a Ral's Outburst. So now you have, for 4 mana, 6 damage to the face. You've got your double cast. I'll throw 2 lightning strikes, 6 to the face. The Ionize. Help wears them down a little bit. That 2 damage cannot be understated. So game one, you're kind of like a weird burn deck that has the option to win via combo. You don't always have to though. And thanks to things like Shocklands in the format, it greatly makes your reach that much better for trying to end them via the burn line. I will say the Augur Bolson here is huge. Sometimes you will throw a Ral to the bottom, which does hurt, but at the same time he helps you chain your spells together, keep your turns going, and overall replaces himself most games when you play him. Kind of gives you a little bit of a body to defend yourself too, because as you can see, if the pressure is thick, you do just lose. Okay, so now we're going to look at the board here. I don't think there's much to say about the main right now. Some of the other options I guess you could do is maybe take out the skewer, because it can be hard sometimes to activate, and instead play something along the lines of a Spell Piercer too, just because having the extra protection from things like Hand Hate is very good. We are very threat or counterspell light with only the 3 Ionize, but I felt like over time we can reamass our pieces if they start ripping our hand apart. Now for the sideboard. 1 Negate, 3 Lava Coil, 2 Narset, 2 Fiery Cannonade, 1 Beacon Bolt, 3 Shalai, Sublime Artificer, 1 Rekindling Phoenix, and 2 Niv Mizzets. Now, this board is sort of all over the place, so we're going to go into it here. Of course, if they're playing a creature-based deck, something like Sultai Midrange, Izzet Drakes, you're going to want your Lava Coils just because you really can't protect yourself any other way. If they're playing mono red, Fiery Cannonade can be the hot fire. It's a board wipe, that's fine. Beacon Bolt is for those grindier mid-range matchups where you need your removal spells to give you as much value. Now, the Shalai or Shahili, or however you want to pronunciate her name, is a great card out of the board. Her effect is, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. So this gives your deck the opportunity to go wide. Sadly, the -2 of this deck, which is target artifact you control becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature you control, except it's an artifact in addition to the types. So the -2 really does you no good. But being able game 2 to essentially just be a burn deck that floods the board is fantastic. I'll opt, I'll make a guy. I'll shock, I'll make a guy. This can really help close games out. It also gives you blockers against the more aggressive decks as well. I love Shahili or Shalai. You're going to see a lot of her on this channel going forward. Any effect that doubles what your instants or sorceries, kind of like a young Pyromaster did, will always be a fan favorite in my book. The Narset, I haven't got to play with this card yet. Again, we've only played best of ones. But I think it's very good versus decks like Control, allowing them to only draw 1 card each turn so they don't get their advantages off Chemist's Insight. Their Expansion Explosion is a big burn spell that draws them 1 card, or maybe none, which is fine. The -2, look at the top 4 cards of your library, reveal a non-creature, non-land from it, put it in your hand. This just helps speed up your combo if in certain matchups you just have to, like a deck against like Arclight, or like I said against Control, it's good as well. I'm not sure how much I love this card yet, but being able to speed up your combo in matches where you just kind of have to be faster, I think is huge. And if this deck does catch on, I think in the Mirror Narset could be very, very good, because there's turns where you're just, I'll throw my Opt, I'll throw a Chemist's Insight, and at that point, you know, that destroys their whole turn if we cannot or they cannot make those plays. So sort of a basic, you know, sideboard here, nothing too fancy. Again, things I would change in the main, you know, maybe you could take out the skewer. The reason why I don't mind the skewer though is because with Ral's ability, you know, I'll throw an Opt. Okay, I'll ping you for 1. You can use Ral's -2 and just go 6 to the face for 1 mana. It could be an interesting way to close out games. It's also a little more removal. I know I like Lava Coil because 4 toughness seems to be the prime real estate, but 3 does get a lot of stuff off board as well. Maybe throw in a fourth Chemist's Insight if you are trying to go more combo heavy and take out a Rouse Outburst for that. But overall, I've been really happy with this list so far. It's been very fun. It's kind of flowed like water for us. I think this morning we're off to a great win streak with it. So with that said, leave a like if you enjoyed the deck tech. Subscribe to the channel for more MTG Arena content. And subscribe to the channel so you can get notified when we release new videos. With that said, I want to thank you for those who made it till the end, and I hope you have a great day. See you later.